All right, we're going to draw a lion today, and I thought this would be really fun to do so we can show some school spirit. So our school verse, Joshua 1:9, will inspire us today. Be strong and courageous. We're going to start with the shape of the head. So we're going to kind of start by making a round oval type shape. Okay. Once we have that, we can add the nose, which is like an upside down triangle. And the mouth. Chin. If you want to add a few details here, you can go ahead and add those now or later. Nostrils to breathe out of. Okay. We're going to have our mane that goes around, but first you might want to go ahead and add the ears so you leave space for them. Those are just kind of curved lines like rainbows to make our ears. Now we can draw our mane, and these are just going to be kind of wavy, squiggly lines. If you want to do something different, maybe yours are zigzag lines. That could be fun too. You can just draw as many of those as you want that you think looks good. And then we're going to finish out the bridge of his nose here. And you can use curved or straight lines for that. And that's going to kind of lead you into the eyes. And these can be like ovals or circles. Okay, and then you can do the inside of the eye. Start with kind of a round circle shape, and then if you want to give it that kind of diamond shape that you see inside a cat's eye. Okay, you can do those eyes however you want. This is just an idea for you. You might want to put a little reflection. It's the white part of the eye that from where the light hits. And then once you have your drawing done, you can trace this. If you're going to watercolor, don't use a washable marker, okay? That's not going to work with watercolors. You can use crayon, colored pencil, Sharpie, oil pastel would work really well for tracing. So I'm going to use a black crayon. And I'm just going to nice, thick, dark outlines. So whatever you're using, if you're using a Sharpie, it's going to automatically be dark, thick lines. But if you're using like a crayon or colored pencil, you might have to press a little harder or go over it a little bit more. Oil pastels are usually pretty dark all on their own. All right, I have finished tracing my picture. Now, if I had done a Sharpie outline, I could take my big eraser and just erase this whole thing to get rid of my pencil lines. But since I did a crayon, I don't want it to smudge. So if I want to erase pencil lines, I have to be really careful. So I'm just going to use a small pencil top eraser and erase carefully. Or I can just decide, maybe I'll decide I want to leave those if I'm worried about smudging my crayon. Okay, but whatever pencil lines you can erase, go ahead and do that. And now we're ready for the next step, which is to watercolor. Okay, we're going to start coloring our lion. For the eyes, you can do any color you want. I have watercolors here to do most of my work, but I'm actually going to do my eyes with the crayons. And again, your eyes, we're going to do those any color you want. They do not have to stick with our warm color scheme. And so I'm going to do mine some blue. You'll see I'm leaving this little spot here white. That is the reflection of light hitting the eye that I've made. Guys, can be any color. They don't have to stick to your warm color scheme. So I did mine blue because I thought that would stand out nicely against the red, orange, and yellow. Now there's some spots that I want to leave white, and since I'm watercoloring, I'm going to go ahead and color these with my white crayon, and that's going to help keep the watercolor from accidentally getting in my white space. So I'm coloring the areas of my eye that I want to stay white, like that little light reflection and this outer part of the eye. And then I think I'm going to color the nose in as well, because I probably don't want it to be red, orange, or yellow. That might not look the way I want it to. So that with my watercolors, all I'm doing is the warm colors. And again, if you don't have watercolors at home, that's okay. You can use other materials. So you can be creative with how you color your lion, as long as our main color is warm colors. So I went ahead and made his nose black. And if I colored these parts white, I colored these blue with the crayons. I could make this part white if I wanted to. I think I'm going to paint it with the watercolors. So if you don't have watercolors, you can use crayons. So I want to show you some things. Depending on what kind of watercolors you have, you can use any shade of red, orange, or yellow. It doesn't have to just be regular red, orange, and yellow. You can use different shades of them. And the same thing with your crayons. If you look in a crayon box, you have different types of oranges and yellows and red. So like this is red, orange, orange, scarlet, yellow, orange. Those are all shades of orange. I have red and red violet. I have dandelion, yellow. These are all warm colors that I could use. I can even use pink because pink is red and white mixed together, so it's also a warm color. So you can see I have all kinds of colors here that I can use in the warm color family. If I'm using my crayons or colored pencils, I can look for anything that's in the yellow, orange, or red family to color my warm color lion. Okay. Same thing with watercolors. If you have a tray like what we have at school, they probably only have red, orange, and yellow. And so that's pretty easy. You can also mix. So you can mix red and orange together to get a new shade, or yellow and orange together to get a new shade. Okay, so it's up to you how you want to do that. If you just want to use only red, orange, and yellow, you can. Or you can use some of these other colors we talked about that are in that family. It's all about having fun. Whether you're using watercolors or markers or colored pencils, just have fun, okay? Now, if you are using your watercolors, remember when you get new colors, you want to clean them. If you're mixing, you don't want to mix inside the tray. You want to either mix in the lid or on the paper. And we're just going to do this whole thing with warm colors. Right, remember when you're watercoloring to use plenty of water with your watercolors. And the more water you use, the lighter your color will look. So if you feel like it's too dark, you can add more water and it'll get lighter. But the watercolor should not cover up your crayon if you, or oil pastel if you outlined in that. Same thing with your Sharpie. If you used a Sharpie, it shouldn't cover it up. If it does, then you probably need more water. You're probably painting too dark. Okay, and we're just going to use any reds, oranges, or yellows to paint or color our lion. Remember, if you get colors to new colors, to rinse your brush And you may need to clean it off on a paper towel to make sure that the color's clean before you get a new color, if you want to keep your colors looking nice. So I've finished the face. Now I'm going to do the mane, and again I'm using all warm colors, reds, oranges, and yellows. You might find it fun to make a pattern, or you can just paint them however you think looks good. So I'm going to do mine with a little bit of a pattern here, or maybe I could go red, then orange, then yellow, or I could do red, yellow, any kind of way you want. I'm going to try to stick with those warm colors, and that's going to make your eyes pop a lot if you use like a blue or a green. If you do all warm colors, those eyes really pop, like you can see on my paper. Here we have our line with our warm colors, and you can see the mane goes all the way around with warm colors. Kind of did red to yellow and then red to yellow again. You can do any kind of order you want. Just remember to use those warm colors, reds, oranges, and yellows. If you want to do the eyes in other colors, you can. Same thing if you want to color in the whites of the eyes or the nose, you could do that as well. But just have fun, and I look forward to seeing what you've done when you share it on Google Classroom. And remember, you can use whatever materials you have at home. If you don't have crayons and watercolors like I used, then just use what you have, and I'm sure it'll look great.